This way we can see the comments of people, you know what I'm saying, post or whatever. Alright, so we're going to get right into it. First and foremost, we want to give all praises unto our Father, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, sending the bodies as a living sacrifice, scattered across the four corners of the earth. All right, can't forget mom too. Also, salutations to the Akim, the Israelite fauners, likened unto the parable of the speckled birds, USA Shalom, and the very few Aqua sisters out there that's listening and learning in quietness under the authority of their husbands. All right, we say Shalom. All right.
Shalom.
And, to the 144,000 tabernacle of David, right, the governing body and the large multitude, the 1/3 remaining remnant of Israel, we say Shalom. So we're going to get into this sit down. Oh, and we would say a Shabbat Shalom, because it's the second Shabbat of this month cycle, all right, because this, which just happens to fall on, Friday night sundown or Saturday night sundown, even though it's not like that all days of the year, right? It's according to the new moon, because the moon goes back to a month, right? So the title of this lesson for tonight on this Shabbat is going to be Prophecy Watch, right? All right, so we're going to go through a couple of articles, all right, and filter it out through the scriptures, because there's so much things, prophecies just hitting you every single day. You be at work, ping, 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 you thinking it's social media, but it's your news notifications telling you, oh, this something new happened, or this something new happened. You feel me? And matter of fact, that'll bring me right to my first precept of the night while I go get my garment real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And that's right, man. All right? Who's the devil, right? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian, man. All right? Because he is that false accuser, man. Constantly trying to basically, on the left-hand side, go to the Father to say, to accuse the poor and spoiled righteous people, the saints, which are the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American.
I was going to get that real quick. I'll get it. While you grab that. But this is, we'll go to Isaiah real quick. Swap you. Try to set up a couple different things here. But let me grab this precept real quick. This is Isaiah 42 and 40. Oh, man. Press some buttons. So 42 and 22 is what I'm looking for. And it reads, like the brother was mentioning, man, us being that spoiled people, the Israelites, this is Isaiah 44 and 22, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. There are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are a prey, and none are delivered for a spoil, and none saith restore, right? And we're trapped here in Babylon under the foot of Esau, Edom, at his whim. He was just kind of discussing, basically how, man, we gonna just need deliverance, man. That's right. Like, we don't have no way to get out of some of these situations that are about to start occurring here in Babylon, like with the monetary system going bad, all right, and that being an issue, as well as we were just speaking on some of the 5G technology and how some of that works in accordance with the MOTB and the that coming forth out of this pandemic, so to speak. With this and that, needing this and that, to make the jump shot effective. You need to add all these different variants and continue to get it. If it's so effective, why is it not working for these people? You know what I'm saying? Why do they have to continue to take this? When you quote unquote go to get any other sort of flu shot or something of that nature, man, you don't get that 6 or 7 times throughout the year. But I digress.
We, and matter of fact, that's what I was gonna get, because I was looking up a quick scripture. Let's see right quick right here. Let's take, right. So this is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2. I'm gonna get it in the actual sword. 2 Corinthians, a Zebulon warrior. Shalom, Shalom,
Shalom, man.
It's a Bawalan Gabar. Let's see here. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right. So through Paul, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai was telling us, right, because the things written aforetime was for our learning, all right, that we are supposed to not be ignorant, meaning what is the opposite of ignorance, right? Knowledge, man, right? And we understand Hosea 4:6, right? For my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? So if you have no knowledge of Satan's devices, you will be taken advantage of the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which is Esau, Edom, man. Okay? Like, for instance, right? I remember Apostle Ramlab was like, he don't do the wireless Bluetooth, like the AirPods and all of that,
right,
because it emits so much radiation.
It actually hurts your ears, man. Like, and I don't know if I don't like it either, because it bothers my ears after a while. Like, I don't like to have it, so I try not to use it as often. But yeah, it does emit a lot of radiation.
Yeah. So, but that was just one example, right? So we're supposed to be knowing everything that could possibly come into play, right? So when nothing happens for coincidence, whether it be the CDC, Amazon, zombie apocalypse readiness, right? Event 201, Cyber Polygon, these type of simulations of what the elite think that is going to come to pass, which is all Hegelian dialectic. They have the solution already, and they're going to create a problem or see how people is going to or they see how it's going to react when they create this type of simulation involved, right? So as well as like the Maccabee was saying with this 5G, right? G stands for generation. So we're on the 5th generation of communicable technology, right? In dealing with electromagnetism, right? Because at the end of the day, we are advancing in technology so quick. But this is why, matter of fact, it said that no flesh, right, shall be saved, right? Because eventually, right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22, and except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't for the prophets, his servants, all right, doing what they commanded to do, going out into the highways and the hedges, all right, just because of those people that presented themselves like a living sacrifice is the reason why things is not going to go on as people think it is. Just because of the apple of his eye, which is Israel, specifically the elect of Israel. Man.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so because when you think about it, the type of things that they want to do, when we go into this metaverse, when we go into this virtual reality, world, you see what I'm saying? We talking about an infinite number of algorithms and ideas in a different dimension. You see what I'm saying? That can really not even be fully understood. You see, like, imagine, right, when you go on the internet, how many websites we think we done went on, and how much more stuff on the internet we have never even encompassed. Not even the dark net, right? So look at the world, right? We as a human, so-called human race, hasn't even been to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, haven't even been to the deepest parts in the Amazon jungle.
Right.
So imagine having a whole universe in this fucking artificial, augmented reality. And this is why a lot of, Edomites talking about is going to be a virtual hell. Right. Imagine if you stuck, your consciousness is stuck. You can never come back into the real world. You see what I'm saying? Like assed out, like every day, like tormented, like damn, like I can't. How do I get out of this game?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's bugged out, man.
Hell yeah.
I grabbed that brother put a few. I grabbed that Thessalonians that he wrote.
He did 2 through 4. If you could get 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, 2 through 4.
I got that's what I went here, and that's This is 1 Thessalonians 5. And is that what that's what it is, 5, right? 5 verses 2 down to actually might go to 5.
You can start at 1. You can start at verse 1.
Yeah, I'll start at 1. But of the times and seasons, Salakia, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Right. So why would he have no need to write unto us? Because we're supposed to be steadily searching in the scriptures. Doesn't it say in 2nd Esdras chapter 9, measure the time thou diligently? How you going to do that? With the measuring stick. What's the measuring stick? This Bible, man. You see what I'm saying? This is why we meditate in it day and night. And in Sirach, it says to be occupied in prophecies, man. Right. That is our real occupation, right? That's the root word, right? Occupation, occupied. You're staying busy in the job that you, what's the parable? Yahushua, the husbandmen and the laborers, and he went back on a long trip and so on and so forth, right? So he put us on it. He hired us to do a job, man. For many are called, but few are chosen. We know we called, but we don't know we chosen yet until we in them chariots, man.
That's right.
But go ahead, huh?
Continuing on. This is down to verse 2 in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2. Mm-hmm. And it reads, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night.
Right. So we supposed to know perfectly, spiritually mature, right? That full 360 degrees of knowledge, all right, of how, when, why, right, of how is y'all gonna come, basically, right, and a thief in the night gonna come. He's not gonna go and steal, go in a house that people's waiting for him, right,
and announce himself, so to speak. If you're a good thief, you're in and out. They never knew you were there, so to speak. So when it speaks on that the Most High coming as a thief in the night, obviously it's going to be unawares, creeping in, through the basement window, robbing the whole bottom floor before you ever know he's there. So he's going to be coming unannounced, man. All right? It's not going to be just some, unannounced to those who don't know he's coming, man, or who's not preparing for him to come, man. All right? There ain't going to be like no rolled out red carpet, firework, USO type of show
Mm-hmm.
for when Yahweh comes back, when Yahweh Shai cracks the sky and comes back, man.
And really, that red carpet, or should I say, that herald, those that is the king is coming, is the prophets,
Right,
man.
right.
We the ones that's preparing the way, so to speak, right? Warning those that Yahweh Shai's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't no thousands of years from now. We
right.
talking about at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
mm-hmm. Down to 3. So, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Right. So it's how the apostle Rama 2 broke it down was, you see, experience is a good teacher, right? I don't have any kids, however, one can easily understand through whether it be schooling, aunties, mothers, whatever. When a woman is travailing with child, the contractions start to get shorter and shorter and shorter until the baby come out. So we're getting to that time where these contractions is happening, metaphorically speaking, every 5 minutes. You see what I'm saying? We know that the baby's on its way out and the baby can't wait. If we not at the hospital in the next 2 minutes, we're going to have the baby right here in the house. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and honestly, just like we was talking before we went on the video, there's a lot of states that are winning cases against these face diaper mandates, man. And that sounds like peace and safety to me. And it seems like sudden destruction could literally come in the next 90 days or less, man. You see what I'm saying? December 21st is the first day of winter. I'm speaking as a man, but through the spirit, we going to have a dark winter, man. You see what I'm saying? Things is really about to get to an astronomical level of death and destruction. And I've been saying this, I can't wait until the elders of all Israel, which are the elder apostle Tahar, Gabar, Aramlan, Rakah, to really Tahar bring out what he's going to name this 2022 year, man. Because, 2020 was the year of prophecy. 2021 was the year of the coming and hastening of our Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Right? So what do you think 2020, man? Like we at the end of, and it just seems to be, a matter of fact, if I can, before we get back to Thessalonians, I'm gonna bring this up real quick.
I got a step 2 that was gonna bust out.
I
had to switch to the pop real quick though.
See if it pull up real quick. Right. So this came out December 9th, which was a day ago, right? On Reuters.com, right? So it says what? Exclusive. IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, 10 countries simulate cyber attack on global financial system.
No, why would they do something like that?
Exactly. And look at here, right? You got Amalek flag right next to the Babylon the Great flag.
That's the UN. For the most part, that's the that's your
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's literally 10. So, that's wild, right? So you got literally the beast. You see what I'm saying? That rideth upon the 7 heads, which is the 7 kingdoms ruled by Esau, that has 10 horns, which is NATO and the EU. All right, beast being that ancient Roman Empire revived.
That's right.
Right. So
the beast that was wounded,
right? And came back to life, right? So why would they, like I said, simulate a cyber attack? Remember, they said the next thingy. Thingy. I don't want to keep, because the YouTube's so fishy now. That's how you know the famine of the world coming too, man. But anyway, the next emic, right, or epic. Let me say that the next epic is going to be a cyber epic, man. All right. So just like how you had the Vicky, right? And what did they say? They had to lock down everything so it doesn't spread.
Right.
So when you look at that on the digital level, didn't Klaus Schwab say the fourth industrial revolution is going to be a changing of the physical, digital, and biological of the human?
Right.
Right. So the digital, okay, is what this epic, cyber epic, would be. And they are simulating if a so-called virus, Vicky, right, integrate into all, hardware in the cloud or whatever, that they would have to lock everything down. How do you do that? Shut it off.
Shut it off.
Shut off the internet.
Cut it.
Shut off the financial system, the water supply.
And like we've talked about several times, Doc, that you've made mention of and brought me up to speed, was that how a lot of cities, most major cities in America that don't run off of well water, so to speak, that are tuned into a city water, sanitation network.
Yep.
That if you cut this internet and you pull the plug on that, it shuts everything. Mm-hmm. So when the power goes out, normally you can still run the water. You can still, maybe spark up the heat, so to speak. But you can't, or maybe you'll be able to turn on the oven because it's gas powered or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the way that it's going to be set up now is that's all tuned into one system. Pull the plug, mm-hmm. and it's all gone. You got no power in the crib whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So, mm-hmm. You go from you got something going to you ass out in a matter of mm-hmm. seconds, minutes, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just read like maybe 3 little paragraphs on this, and then we're going to get back to Thessalonians.
Okay.
So it says, Israel on Thursday led a 10-country simulation of a major cyber attack on the global financial system in an attempt to increase cooperation that could help to minimize any potential damage to financial markets and banks. The simulated war game, called it and planned over the past year, evolved over 10 days, with sensitive data emerging on the dark web. The simulation also used fake news reports that in the scenario caused chaos in global markets and a run on banks. And if anybody knows what a bank run is, if you know anything about economics, banks only have 10% of what they actually give out.
Right. Or what they, like at any given moment, like at what, yeah.
Yeah, so like, if they have $100,000 cash liquid, right, they would actually loan out in computer numbers $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if everybody runs to the banks to try to bring out their money, they don't have that money.
Exactly.
And they're just going to shut the whole bank down. They're going to say, no, we're closed.
So say that Doc has, he's got 500,000 in his account, and I've got 100,000 in my account. All right, he could go to the bank and deliver his 500,000, and this is how banks work too. He could go and drop his 500,000 off at the bank, and I could come 2 hours later, having my 100,000, and ask. So, Salakia, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I'm explaining it correctly.
Okay.
You have 500,000 in your account. You go and you drop another 500,000. So the bank has $1 million. Mm-hmm. I'll have 100,000, and I'm coming to drop another 100. So mine's gonna double up to 2, right? But I want to drop and then pull a 1. So I basically would just replace that 1 with the 1 I pulled, right? They probably, if the bank was in a run mode, like they really don't want to give me that money,
right?
Even though they have it. So like you said, if it was a bank run and there was 3,500 people that are members of this bank and they all go to do this at the same time, mm-hmm. then the bank, there's no way the bank got that kind of money, even if they do have $1 million.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be an excuse to why they're saying, oh, well, paper money is obsolete.
It's obsolete
because a bank run could happen. And so if everything go digital with the CBDCs, you see it in the Fed coins, you see what I'm saying, then we're not going to have that problem.
Because let's be honest, like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're going to use it as a reason. Like the brother said, it's going to be an excuse. It's going to be one of the reasons why chaos is ensuing, because people are going to go, people who have worked their entire lives, who have thousands upon thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars, are going to, I found that at my sister's house and I'll bring it home. Those are the old ones we used to have. But, you know, regardless, it's going to cause chaos, and then people are they're gonna go left, man. They're gonna use it as an excuse, like the brother said, to move on to the, you know, eventually the MOTB.
MOTB, that's a fact, man. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to go back to the Thessalonians.
Back to Thessalonians. This is I'll read Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, and it reads, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Down to 4. "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief."
Right.
All right.
So notice how it says we are not in darkness. Why? Because the light, which is Yahweh Shai, is shining upon us, man. That truth, that knowledge, man. Right? So when we go into the book of Isaiah, all right, this is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2. "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee," man.
That's right.
You see? So
the glow, man. The quickening.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that quickening spirit. That what makes us alive, man. Because you're not really a living being until you have the breath of life in you, which is what? This knowledge, this truth, man. You know?
That you know, that concept of the valley of the dry bones, man. Without it, we're dead, man. Without that light, without that understanding, without Yahushua, we're dead. We don't come back together as a body without it. You know, there's no return, there's no coming back. We just remain dust.
I got the perfect precept for that too, because how it said that, you know, we're not in darkness. That darkness is a representation of being in confusion, being Babylonian mindset. You don't know where to go, right? If the blind leadeth the blind, and they both shall fall into the ditch, man. You are not being led, right? Because you cannot see spiritually. A light is a tool to help guide you.
That's right.
Right? That is your safe haven per se, right? And Yahweh Shai is who is guiding. He said he is the way, right? This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy. That's right, man. Who out here prophesying to the same level, right, of, you know, Great Millstone and the Lycan camps of the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? Whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place.
That's right.
Right? What's this dark place? Babylon the Great, man. You see what I'm saying?
This place where wickedness is good, where, you know, it's encouraged to be a sexual deviant, you know, where it's encouraged to watch, like, to be a pedo, so to speak, or to be a homosexual, or the transsexual, or this or that, or for your children, or for that to be pressed upon your children, and you be in the wrong for trying to protect them from those type of things. You know, this is Babylon.
But that's why I said, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Correct, God.
And woe is what? Destruction,
God.
All right? And this is the place, like he just said, with all these characteristics of categories of weirdos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This place going to be destroyed because y'all, you know, write unrighteous decrees in support of these wicked lifestyles and so on and so forth.
That's right.
You know?
they write grievous things in the law, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, roughly paraphrasing.
Mm-hmm. So it goes on to say, until the day dawn, and the day dawn, right? Dawn being the beginning of the day when the sun rises and all that. It's really talking about the kingdom. When when the day is fully here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and then it goes on to say, and the day star arise in your hearts.
Okay.
Now, who is that day star? We're going to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 16. I, Yahweh Shai, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star.
That root of Jesse, man.
You see what I'm saying? So he is a literal descendant of David, all right? And he is the bright and morning star, okay? Because when you get into it, like that word Lucifer, it's just a title. All it means is light bearer, man. You see what I'm saying? And there, that Esau Edom is the light bearer right now. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to be in the future.
God.
You know, he's gonna make. You know, where has your wisdom gone, O Taman? You know, going so forth, right?
Right.
You know, they right now they, you know, the children of this world are wiser than the children of the light.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And this is why he said that what's the name? Oh, Lucifer. Isaiah 14. Y'all know the script, right?
God.
So, you know, I guess back to that last
I
one.
just had one more, yeah. Mm-hmm. Just to, you know, roundabout explain why, man. This is down to 5 Thessalonians 5, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5. Mm-hmm. And it reads, "You are all the children of the light."
Right. It's not talking about light. All. It's talking about the Israelites.
The Israelites. Come on.
Right. Come on.
The children of the day. Mm-hmm. We're not the night, nor of darkness. All right. Mm-hmm. So when you have that understanding and you're belonging to the morning star, you the apple of the Lord's eye, so to speak, you're going to be able to see past that darkness, man.
That's right.
All right. You're going to be a light in the darkness, so to speak. But I also wanted to expand on what you had kind of mentioned just a little bit. But like why, kind of some of the why, and you like we were saying, RT was also mentioning how you got all these states where these, you know, I don't even know if you would call them right wing, but for the sake of you know, edification, I guess they're all white, you know, murderous Christians, so to speak, but they have different views. You got the ones who have this herd mentality that are willing to follow the herd off the cliff, and then you have the ones who are completely against everything that's going on. They want the old way back. They want their old freedoms and their constitution to be adhered to and all these things. So why is that going on, though? Because you got all these unrighteous decrees being brought about the land like it wasn't a serious. So this is Isaiah 10 and 1, just a precept to what's going on in Babylon, man. Mm-hmm. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, mm-hmm. and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, mm-hmm. So you got just a lot of that going on here in Babylon, man.
That's a fact.
Where whether it be through the monetary laws, even the law itself, like I can kind of bear some testimony to some of the laws, like had a whole bunch of nonsense going on at the crib, and I had to leave my own, you know, house, place of peace, basically, to a stranger because of the conflict. You know, so some of these rules are ass backwards in Babylon, man. You know, I was standing in my own house, knowing in my mind, like, I can stop all of this from taking place, but, you know, if I do anything, it's a crime according to the laws of Babylon. So, you know, we stuck here. We stuck in this madness, man.
That's why I said that, you know, with Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart. You know, for this is not your rest, for the land is polluted. And also in Hebrews, you know what I mean, that's why our forefathers paraphrasing this one, you know, that we shall, you know, be as strangers and pilgrims upon the earth. because we looketh for a place that dwelleth righteousness, man. This place isn't righteous, man. This place is wicked. So because it's not our kingdom, we're not gonna have laws. You see what I'm saying? That's on our side.
No.
Yahweh said that to the prophet Jeremiah, right? I shall create a new thing, that a woman shall compass a man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So compass meaning the circle to go around. You see what I'm saying? Because usually a woman got to go through the man, right? But now in this society, a woman has to completely goes around the man, like disregards. I don't need you. I could go straight to the source because Esau, this beast system, right? That the image of the beast, the military and political system, is in favor, right, of Eve,
Mm-hmm.
right? I wanted to bring this out too, if I can, based on with that when we were talking about that light, that glow. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify. That's how you know you got to be going out to the streets, man. Let your light shine before them, so that they may see your good works. Because why? You show your we show our faith by our works, man. You know what I mean? Because that's a testimony of faith by going out to them highways and byways, man. And glorify your Father which is in heaven. And that's what we doing. Because when we out there, what are we doing? We're preaching the names of Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. And we really glorifying Yahweh Shai, because you can't get to the Father without Yahweh Shai. And by glorying Yahweh Shai, you glory in Yahweh.
That's right.
You know? So we get into some crazy time. I'm gonna bring up one more article. I mean, I got a couple articles, but this is just
there was several. Yeah. I mean, when you get on RT, you could get on RT and just kind of like scroll the timeline, and you gonna just see several prophecies pop right in your face, like oh man, that's right. Go ahead, bro.
This was one of them that I put up. This is on hotnewhiphop.com, but you could find it anywhere else. LAPD detective tells people to stay away from LA. Compares city to the purge. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. An LAPD detective is telling tourists to avoid the area, comparing the city to the purge after rapper Slim 400 was shot and killed. Slim 400, one of YG's closest associates, was shot and killed in LA Wednesday night as the city experiences a surge in crime rates. It has gotten so bad that Detective Jamie McBride is telling tourists not to come. He said that telling people don't visit because we don't think we can keep you safe right now. Look, police can't even do their job, man. That's how you know Babylon is through, man.
He said, yo, just don't even come down this way.
Yeah.
Well, to speak on that, another thing, like for non-emergent crimes, like if it's not shooting and killing type of shit, all in your face, like the police out here in certain areas, man, they're not even coming.
Right.
Because I don't even know if I told you about that, but when I was dealing with them, for what just happened recently, I called, the non-emergent line, obviously, so, they were like, because if you call 911, you're supposed to only call someone dying, right. They got stabbed, shot, having a complete medical emergency, whatever. If not, they you go through to the non-emergent line, and then you wait for a while, but they're pretty quick about it, but then they take it down. But when I told them where I was, when I started to tell them down where I was, like at where my sister stays, I already knew they wasn't coming. And to be honest, they didn't come. They called me the next day like, we didn't forget about you. So So if you're, like say your thing wasn't emergent, but it went emergent, and they didn't call you back till the next day.
Crazy. So look, we in the time where Jacob Trouble ain't even happened yet, and you can't even get, the centurions to come do a wellness check or whatever because of certain locations that they know what they call red zones. They black belts where Jake, you see what I'm saying,
Right.
is usually at.
Heavy
Heavy
population
population of Latinos and Negroes, right? So it goes on to say though. He says he was blaming the city's crime rates, talking about the detective on Proposition 47, and there has been an increased number of smash and grab robberies around LA, just like how they're doing in Oakland, San Francisco right now. 80 people, 150 people with masks on, Jake just running into whether they're hired or whatever, it's still happening.
Right, because they could be agent provocateurs.
Yeah,
sure. Sure.
Be Antifa, Black Lives Matter, or whatever, But it's a misdemeanor, and if you have less than $950 worth of merchandise, you could get low bail or no bail at all and get out the next day, and you'll get community service. Let's just say if you get convicted, This report is concerning the weekend specifically since there is expected to be a large tourist turnout in LA for Rolling Loud.
Yeah, Rolling
which
Loud.
Takes place over the course of the next 3 days.
I just thought about that. My brother-in-law is selling tickets to the event. He just asked me, "Do you want to go to Rolling?" Of course not.
Hell no. And what's crazy is I knew some people that did. I know, homies in the world, whatever, that they rap and they, was at the one in Miami or whatever.
Yeah.
Like at the bottom, spectrum of the performers or whatever, like up and coming, from New York rappers.
Right.
But I don't know, something in my spirit is like something could be very similar to this Travis Scott thing, man.
Yeah.
If they're saying this,
right, and
then there's a big festival and people are still going, even though they know what happened at the Travis Scott shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? People are just in a trance,
Yeah. In a death trance, man. Like we was kind of speaking on earlier with not the Travis Scott incident, but who's we speaking on? Oh, the Demaryius Thomas thing about and then you said that other dude that you just spoke on that got shot up was 33 as well, and it's just wild that
Slim 400, he died at 33.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And then now the former Pro Bowl football player,
he was a big deal in this area. He played for the Broncos.
Okay, yeah. So he died at 33.
Yeah,
less than 24, 40 hours apart. And we know what that number represents according to whether it be York Rite, Scottish Rite, you know what I'm saying, right? These secret councils, all right, of the wicked, all right? You know how they use gematria, numerology to put out certain codes out there, whatever. We know what's going on. We're not ignorant of his devices, man. All right? And it's funny because we haven't heard from YG in a while. He was, I guess, YG boy. So if YG blow up and get back in the limelight, we kind of know what happened, right?
That would be some shit. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I did have a set following your article. Did you get all of that out though?
Yeah, that's done.
I had stuff just regarding your article, like how the brother was mentioning the purge, man. And how you got certain cities starting to come kind of to that realization or starting to just kind of wild out. Like the Bay Area is turned up. You got gentrification going on. Oakland is fucked up right now. Like Malcolm did a video not too long ago,
with the Edomite driving around and all the homeless people and all that.
And we like him saying it like, yes, we when I was a kid, I was born out that way, and I spent a lot of time out there too. And there was certain parts of it that were kind of, beautiful, so to speak, or pretty areas. But from what I've seen now, I'm like, man, the Bay Area it's just trash, and it didn't used to be. So just showing some truth there, man, to watching this decline of Babylon. But this is second Ezra, I accept for what the brother was kind of saying, and just for what all around is about to take place in Babylon, man. This is second Ezra chapter 15, and I'm just going to start at 14, and it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword of their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand." All right, that modern day sword just being, the heater piece, the blick, so to speak, whatever you want to call it. Down to 16. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their own power, or in their power." All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll go. What I'm getting at, man, is in that day, which is what we're kind of talking about, that's coming near soon, that all these different events are leading up to. All right. These people are not going like with all of the different states defying the Pentagon, or not the Pentagon, but the government, and not wanting to do these federal, forced upon the people, options that are being handed out right now, as well as the military's pushing back against it as well. Did you have an article, brother, that you wanted to bring out?
I mean, kind of goes on what you said, but I was on RT, and this is from November 30th, right in the middle, because, it's got some trigger words right there. But it says house arrest for unvenested Austrians.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's been taking place in Austria, New Zealand, I believe they did that. Australia did the same thing. They're rioting in all those places. Italy, Israel, France, I believe, did that as well. The UK is going through some issues with that right now. So this is happening all over the globe, man. All right, it's just not being talked about on the mainstream news. They talk about dumb shit all day long. All right. So down to 17, "A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able," like the brother just read with the incident in LA. When you got the LAPD telling people to not come to the area because they can't keep them safe, is that not the beginning of trying to go to a city, or desiring to go to a city and not being able?
That's a precursor.
That's right. Because eventually it'll be checkpoints, and then it'll be, you have to have this, and this, and this to come to this area. And in cities like LA, it's gonna be so hard to maintain something like that. Eventually there'll be checkpoints with the vagabonds. There'll be checkpoints with the raiders, with the marauders. They'll be doing their own checkpoints.
Yeah.
You'll be going through certain areas, and they'll be like, if you want to get through here, you got to give up, a bushel of apples, or a bucket of grapes, or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like New York or Chicago back in the 40s and 50s. You couldn't just walk into the Italian neighborhood or something as looking like how we look or whatever, the Polish neighborhood, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Run you out of there, beat you with sticks, throw rocks at you.
So I could and bigger cities too, because it's gonna get to a point you can't go from state to state, because one state is like, oh well, things are surging through this, big, Crown Royale over here.
Because what do they always show you in every for the last 20 years? What have they shown you in every zombie flick, right? Mm-hmm. They get control of the situation. They set up a forward base,
every single zombie,
and then all of a sudden, something happens. There's a break loose event where something happens. Everything goes left. They do a mass exodus that's not planned. It's an emergency exodus where they leave several people behind. You know what I'm saying? they just like straight jet,
right.
and they leave the people to fend for themselves,
That's right.
so to speak. And then you get that Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead type of lifestyle, because the people are just left to their own devices.
Yeah. That's right.
So their actions are in their own hands. So
Yeah.
they're gonna act wild, man. They're not gonna adhere to, General Stevens, who's the leader of public blah blah blah, to fix the city of Colorado Springs when all hell breaks loose.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Because it's getting worse and worse. Like, for instance, right? The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, right? And who's this other beast? It's talking about America, Babylon the Great. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And two horns is representative of the Democrats and the Republicans, which goes back to the ancient Roman Empire system, how they had the plebeians and the patricians, if I'm not mistaken. And speaking as a lamb, coming to you soft, yeah, we're for the people, this and that and the third. But the dragon is what? Is fire comes out their mouth, right? And when you look up that word dragon, right, you're gonna get the word dracon, right? Which goes back to the word Draco, which actually was a Roman politician that came. That's where you get your word draconian law. You see what I'm saying? That his laws are so harsh for little crimes, right? A lot of them will be punishable by death. You see what I'm saying? So, for instance, right now, the New York governor, this Edomite woman, what is she saying? She's like, the whole state of New York gotta wear the face diapers in indoor places, man.
That's right.
Although, imagine for a whole summer or a couple, 6 months now, you've been chilling, and then everybody now, like but that's that constrictor tactic.
Right.
What do boa constrictors do? They tighten you up, right? And then you can't breathe. So as soon as you try to get some air in, right, they let go slightly to let you get some air in, and then they tighten even more. So now your lungs is even more contracted, and they kill you slowly by loss of oxygen, right? So using that in a political standpoint, and I seen it in the prison house. Our dude had the cell phone, and he was showing me how a former FEMA lady was saying that that's what is going to be used. You see them? See, these people that work for FEMA, they know what's up. They know what's coming.
Yeah.
She was like, it's going to be through the constrictor tactic.
Yeah.
They're gonna close things down. They're going to open it up to give you a little taste, and then they're going to do even worse lockdown that they had before. And really, we were just waiting on this at that point. And that's why I say, too, because based on the videos that I sent out to a couple brothers, I don't know if I sent it out to you, Zebulon Warrior, but these dudes, who's the people that work for them that go up the towers and they got the thing around their belt and they climb up and they install that shit?
Like the post, there's a name for him.
Yeah, there's a name for him. But
I got a buddy that's his job.
That's his job, right?
His job.
Those dudes know exactly what's going on when it comes to installing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These boxes, which is nothing but EMFs, electromagnetic frequency boxes for the new system.
Yeah. He basically told me they're building like a big ass biodome type of, it's an electric magnetic field, but it's going to be like a biodome type of thing that'll sit over the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea, right? That they'll have coverage with this everywhere. So there won't be those blind spots that exist in the 4G now.
And you exactly. And now what does that go back to? The back of the dollar bill, the all-seeing eye, no blind spots. He sees everything.
That's the mission. Is is to get to that point where they're complete, where they're, they have utter control through that. Because what the man was basically telling me was like, look, okay, so he was like, say you get you do get the, you go get the sauce,
right,
and now you're sauced up, and you got all that, like we were speaking on earlier. You got all those different proteins and things of that nature. It's all floating inside of you now. You're a conduit. Like the brother, just go ahead and
I'm gonna just show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just go ahead.
I ain't gonna say none of it.
Show the
for lack of.
Yeah.
So I've done my research. That's why brothers Akim got to stay on Odyssey, man, because YouTube you're not gonna be able to get a full breakdown. Because remember, in Psalm 62, for they shall make their tongue to fall upon themselves. A lot of Edomites is bringing out more than Jake is bringing out what's going on right now.
Right.
That's how you know Jake 2/3 is in gross darkness, man.
Yeah.
Because
you got a lot of these heathen doctors and these doctors because you got a lot of heathens that have private practices here in Babylon. Okay, so they have to play by the rules to keep those practices open.
And check the end time headline. Something just came out right now.
Something just came out.
Hell yeah! So this is my as you can see, Spirit of Prophecy Precept Study Booklet, right? And every time at work, while I'm working, I'm doing all type of notes, listening to the elders and the apostles getting all the breakdowns. But on Odyssey, I got couple of things. So this is everything that is in that Icky Vicky, all right, from my research in the past 7 months.
That's right.
All right. Let's see if I can.
Damn, it was.
All right, so if you can see that right there, there's who would pity the charmer that got bit by a serpent, right? After all, you would put all of this inside of you, right? Crazy.
No, exactly. So you do all of that, and then now you basically gonna turn yourself into a conduit, so to speak, for this new domed technology, right? This thing that's gonna blanket the entire U.S. and other countries that are with it, right? So what they basically say is like, so now that you've done that, you may only Yahweh knows what's gonna happen to you when they turn this thing on. You know what I'm saying? There's still no field test, so to speak, for this at all. Right. There's gonna be one, and y'all motherfuckers who have this, are gonna be the test.
Salakia, there's so many, scientists that was in that field that it came out that dudes put on Odyssey and all of that. That's saying that it's literally a military grade weapon system.
Right,
bro.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
And who knows what the effect will be when they do.
We're speaking as a man, thinking of what to happen based on what they give us.
Right,
the zombie stuff.
Because you got a lot of that. They're saying it's a potential zombie effect on the mind where they want to control the mind, but they can't. So the people go bananas. Who knows? Only Yahweh knows. But we gotta endure it regardless.
So watch this. This is on the Wall Street Journal. I brought this out a while ago, but it's deep. Wireless carriers postpone planned December 5th launch of new spectrum. So 3-4 days ago, shit was supposed to be turned up. Right? But obviously they pushed it back for a certain reason. For that reason, who knows, right?
And it seems as things continue to get pushed back, a lot of things are getting pushed back that have to do with this sauce right now. Anything that has to do with the sauce or anything kind of surrounding it seems to be getting a lot of pushback at the moment. But, we'll see for how long.
So it goes on to say, to address concerns about potential interference with cockpit's safety systems, AT&T and Verizon's agreed to delay their planned December 5th rollout of a new 5G frequency band so they can work with the Federal Aviation Administration to address concerns about potential interference with key cockpit safety systems. The cell phone carriers said Thursday that they would delay their planned 5G deployments until January 5th, responding to the aviation regulators' warnings while disputing claims that the proposed cellular signals would represent a danger. The FAA, a unit of the U.S. Transportation Department, had been planning to issue official mandates as soon as this week that would limit pilots' use of certain automated cockpit systems, such as those that help planes land in poor weather, according to government and industry officials familiar with the plan orders. Those limits would aim to avoid potential interference from wireless towers on the ground transmitting new 5G signals. So right there, they're telling you that even such high technology, 30,000 feet in the air, can be affected by transmissions on the ground. The safety protocols in order to help the plane descend, right, in poor weather. So imagine what it would do to the human brain.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
It has extra factors of all this other shit.
Right. So you turn yourself into a lightning rod. You know what I'm saying?
Damn near.
For this thing when it gets the flip when it gets turned on. So only, like I said, only Yahweh knows what's gonna happen to your ass.
That's why
you know what I'm saying. And listen, and you had said to go to End Time Headlines and see what just dropped.
Yeah, what just dropped.
I'm gonna read it because it's from Fauci. So
Anthony Fauci. That's what we call it.
So Mr. Fauci had to say what he just gave, what sounded like an ominous warning in a recent segment in NBC News. I can play the video, so maybe I'll just play it. But let's see if it'll play here, and I'll just let it ride.
So I would prefer to get yourself and your family, and indirectly then the community, protected. So I would prefer, and we all would prefer, that people would be voluntarily getting vaccinated. But if they're not going to do that, sometimes you've got to do things that are unpopular, but that clearly supersede individual choices and are directed predominantly at the communal good. And that's what we're talking about.
So I mean, you know what you just heard. He just basically said for the communal good that they're gonna not give a fuck of whether you want it or not.
Exactly.
At some point, all right.
That's that coming down with great wrath.
Right,
man.
right. And he's basically saying, I would rather you just go and get it done. But if you're not going to, we're gonna hold you down and give you the sauce, and that's how it's gonna go.
Right. And how many did the elders been saying Esau's gonna show you his horns, man?
Right.
He gonna show you that he that dragon, man. You see what I'm saying? This is not a time to be falling out the truth, getting the demons of doubt and depression. We literally at the end of this thing.
That's right.
We're supposed to be watching and praying always as Yahweh Shah commanded us, man. You see what I'm saying? We literally around the corner to the kingdom. You feel me? Yahweh Shah just waiting on the okay from Yahweh to go and destroy this place and take his kingdom, man.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so when they start doing that, this is when, matter of fact, let's get it. Let's bring it out.
Come.
Let's bring it out. Revelation, what is it? Chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Right? So we're not supposed to fear that we might have to suffer the unpopular decisions that the elite and the government are about to make, man.
I got 2 steps to land back off.
Okay,
first would be 2 Timothy 1:7. Actually, I'm going to just start at 6. This is 2 Timothy's 2, or this is 2 Timothy's 1 and 6, and it reads, "Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of Yahweh, which is in thee by putting on of my hands." Down to 7. "For Yahweh hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then second would be, obviously, something I kind of have been going to a lot lately, Isaiah 33 and 6.
That's right.
And it reads, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure." So we don't have the spirit of fear to fear these other things, man. All right? Fuck Fauci. And fuck his little weasel sayings. You know, fuck Esau's little sauce. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we willing to die for this thing. As watchmen, you know, when they come to you like, "Hey, you gonna take the sauce," there's only one answer. There's only one answer.
Take me to the FEMA kids.
Yeah, take me to where you chopping heads at. You know, so we can get this over with. Because I'm not doing that shit. It shouldn't be that difficult, man. For all the nigga shit, you know, that you've perished for in the past, you know, because your spirit is, who knows how many trips you've taken up this way, or who you are. So you may have died several times for no reason, no honor. What's so difficult about dying, you know, perishing honorably one more time, and then for Yahweh shine, for Big Bro, man. All the things all the, you know, street names and blocks you ain't never been to, and you know, colors and flags and neighborhoods that you was willing to die for before, but you won't die for your house shot. Niggas is something else, man. Then when they say that we ain't worthy of the kingdom, it's like, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
For what does it say? For we are a foolish people and sottish children, because we have not know the Lord, man. Paraphrasing, you know, sottish meaning stupid. But to finish up in Revelation, it says, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." All right, so we know it, because we know it's going to come, because it's already happened in other places, man. In Germany, or Austria, what they have a lockdown of the unvaccinated. In Australia,
it's gonna happen in America.
Yeah, regardless,
it's only a matter of time.
They're already taking kids and forcibly doing it to them. Those that don't want whatever, they putting them into the internment, concentration, quarantine camps.
Yeah,
it's all the same shit. It's prison, man.
The green zone, green zones that FEMA wants to set up,
using the shield approach. You see, oh well, that's what he just said was the shield approach. Now that I'm thinking about it,
right?
He has to shield the common people for the greater good.
And they've been saying that.
You see what I'm saying?
For about 2 weeks now, they've been on that.
Taking you. Yeah, that's what we just brought out. Came up.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the spirit right there.
Well, the other one was about some. It was about the creature. They were speaking about the creature, like
the statue.
Yeah.
And they kind of went off because it's really to the Daniel 7.
Yeah.
More than the Revelation.
Yeah. And the Daniel 7 was the statue of Melchizedek, was it not? Am I tripping?
It was the dream of Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
But it was
dream
but it was the first beast.
Right.
And you know, it was the lion with eagle's wings, which was the Assyrian Empire.
And that's what they were trying to show. Yeah.
You know, and the Babylonians, because I just literally watched the breakdown of Apostle Rama to Daniel 7.
Wrote it down, which is a heavy breakdown.
You know, and when the wings were plucked off, that's when the Babylonians took over the Assyrian, land.
Right.
And so on. But In Revelation, the one said it had a feet of a bear. That statue doesn't have a feet of a bear.
No.
Theirs is a leopard with eagle's wings.
Yeah.
So, if they would have made it a lion with eagle's wings, it would have been too easy. You see what I'm saying? So what it's really saying is that we're in Babylon. Right. The same head that was used in Daniel 7 in the dream for Nebuchadnezzar is the same animal of the first beast, that we're in spiritually, Babylon the Great. And we're Assyria too at the end of the day too. Nineveh, America is spiritually Nineveh, Assyria, same thing. The land of the north.
Straight up. Did you have did you have some more on that bone? I just was gonna finish with.
Yeah, you could go ahead and finish.
I just went back to Second Ezra. I'm wrapping up with this. If you're good with it, feel free to jump in whenever. But I'm just gonna run from about 1 through 12. This is just chapter 15 in Second Ezra again. I'm reading just about 1 through 12 here because it's about to be a wrap on this place, man. We're about to wrap. Babylon is in its last. Rome is getting its last little huff and puffs on, taking those gasping, dying, breaths.
He's circling down the drain.
Right. So I'm gonna read this here. One more time. This is Second Ezra, chapter 15. I'm starting at 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh.
Right. So what are we supposed to be doing when we on them corners, man?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we, going to the law here and there, this and that. But that's not the main, because one, we're not saved by the law anyway. We're supposed to, yes, keep the law to the best of our ability. That's not what I'm saying, not to keep the law.
Right.
But from what I see from all these other camps, they're trying to, how you supposed to treat your girl and, marriage counseling and, this and that. Yo, stick to what was taught, man. Stick to the script. Stay in the prophecies, man.
Yeah, how to stop it with the Steve Harvey. Stop it. Yeah, Steve Harvey doctrine shit.
Yeah, like
don't do that.
Trying to bring that old man, that old wine, that Christian shit into the truth, man.
This is how you're supposed to treat your woman.
Come on, why are you on the street corners doing that? We supposed to be telling our people, warning them. Right. So the blood can be off our hands. Exactly. How do we do that? Through the prophecies, man. What's to come? MOTB, World War III, martial law, so on and so forth, man.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All right?
Right. And Salakia, I gotta bring that out.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So this is Revelation chapter 19, I'm going to start at verse 10. The point is in verse 11. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
So there you go.
So if the one that was sitting on the horse is called Faithful and True, but in Second Ezra it says that caused them, which is prophecy, to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, that shows you Yahweh Shai is the word.
And the word is... Does it not say that the word is Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Shai is the word?
God, in the Gospel of John.
And then you got these people that are arguing. What do they say? Oh no, he did this and this and this in the New Testament. No, he came to teach the word.
That's right, man.
All right, he didn't do away with the New Testament.
That's why
it's
I said
a whole other lesson.
It is. That's why he says, "Speak down into the ears of my people the words of prophecy." And what was the beginning? For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy.
The spirit of prophecy. So come down to 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. All right. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
That's right, man. A lot of people's going to be killed with these super soldiers, these robots, the race wars,
Right.
the
That
class
monster
wars.
man.
Right. That's one. Two, a lot of people going to starve by starvation.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
the
saying?
lack of bread.
The lack of bread going into people's cribs.
Pestilence too.
Yeah, pestilence.
With sick, being sickly and not having access to things like, Dayquil or NyQuil, because you've never known how to heal yourself without access to those things.
Yeah, that's that death right there. And then destruction. These cities is going to be plundered, man. All right? No inhabitants.
You're going to be...
Little fires kindled,
right?
Before Yahweh shall come with that big fire,
right?
That bonfire.
You're gonna have people getting killed, to be eaten. You're gonna be having people being... There's gonna be people getting raped to death, man. I mean, rotted out until they just give up the ghost. But for wickedness hath exceeded, polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right,
that's how you know Edom is ruling in the last days, because he is the border of wickedness. He is the wicked.
The wicked.
So who else is going to have wickedness be exceedingly polluting the whole earth?
That's right.
That's how you know Esau is in the top power seat, man.
That's right. All right. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right? That's why we're supposed to be constantly in prayer, man, complaining to get up out of here.
Right. And all that, how you living? I can't complain. What?
Yeah.
We supposed, how your day been?
Like a man,
I woke up today. I was like, man, fuck back. We supposed to be complaining, man.
Fuck this place.
I mean, when you see, that's how you know people haven't read the Bible. In the book of Exodus, this is what, the first 3 chapters? When we was getting oppressed by Pharaoh, what happened? It said that his people, the Israelites, cried for the oppression that they was dealing with under the Egyptians, and it came into the ears of the Most High. The Most High heard their cries and raised up a prophet, Moses, to come and deliver them. So how if we didn't complain back then, Yahweh wouldn't have delivered us, man.
Right. And that's like you said, man, these Christians, man, Bible thumb Christians don't read, you don't know anything. And therefore, saith Yahweh, this is down to 9, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me the innocent blood from among them. Behold, because like Malcolm always says, Elder Malcolm always says, there's always been the righteous few and the wicked majority. All right, so that 2/3 of Israel that has to be destroyed is part of that wicked majority, man. All right, behold, my people is led as a flock to slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. All right, basically just speaking on, again, Egypt being the land of captivity. We're still in Egypt, man. All right, so our people are being led as a flock to slaughter, man. I just lost my grandfather, due to complications that he wasn't supposed to have. I just lost my uncle almost in the same manner. And then you got guys that are really like not that much older than me perishing due to all these random health issues and things of that nature. Man, we getting led to slaughter, man. All right, our people following after E, getting led to the slaughter. All right, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So see how it speak. This is why they don't want the Apocrypha Bible as well, because it speaks that way. Well, why would they do that again? What Egypt is he speaking about? This one, this one right here. And we're going to get it with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land.
all the land.
All the land. All right.
So it's not going to be inhabited again.
You can blanket Babylon with this 5G technology if you want to.
Right.
The Lord gonna blanket this bitch with fire.
Right. That's right.
Right?
That's
what's gonna be the end all be all of all this nonsense. ICBM missiles blasting this, rocking the earth. It's gonna be blasting Babylon so tough. All right. But that was it on that.
Okay.
I'll end it there because it goes back into what I kind of was already reading. But
that's why I said it. What was it in Zechariah? These ICBMs is a plague, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, the chariots, man, because that's going to be the two agents of the destruction of Babylon, man. The laser beams from the chariots,
that's right,
and the intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. So, we're coming to some serious times, brother, and that's all. On my, quick PSA before we conclude out, right? This is Yada's channel, right? Sons of Jacob, Colorado Spring Kingdom Thoughts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My personal channel, which we usually do the camp videos on, Tazapani Banyamyan, and has a second strike. So I'm going to be very careful when 2 weeks from now when I start uploading again. Our backup channel is Zion Iron Lions, all one word. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be doing my little personal video still on that. All right? So we're probably going to be doing the camp videos on Yada's channel. To edify the most elect until we get some subscribers up on some other ones.
We got to get them up before we can do the lives and a couple other things. Does Azara have a channel we can plug?
Yeah. Azara, the one that I'll be doing sit-downs with, his is Azara Ban Yahawada. Right. And it probably has either Sons of Jacob, Colorado Springs next to it as well, but I want to say that's what it is. You see what I'm saying?
I still got access to the Rubens Revenge channel. That's back off all my little restrictions, and I'm making a new one. It'll just be Rubens Revenge 2. Okay. So we'll have that channel, and then I'm probably, if I can, I'm gonna try to have a backup. Right. But I haven't made it yet, and I just got a new phone. So I got to spend some time figuring it out. But we'll, Lord willing, we get all the brothers' channels up and have some places to run when they set fire to our channels, man.
That's how we telling the truth, man. Because I had somebody hit me up on IG. It was like, yo, that's mad weird. Some brew probably hating on you with da 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 da. Yeah. And he was like, yo, I see. Mad videos that be violating and they got mad subscribers. Yeah. And they not getting taken down or with strikes or whatever.
I was noticing lately, who gets to speak about a lot of things and they don't really like them. A lot of them, he might, what you call them? Like the conspiracy theorists or the ones that kind of chronologically tracking the downfall of E, like they don't get blasted like we do, but they say a lot of pro America comments and stuff in their videos, so maybe that's why they don't get it like we do.
Like they are trying to be constitutional,
right,
that's how they.
But they get to say all the other the buzzwords that we don't get to say, that they'll jump all over us for. They can say that kind of stuff, well, whatever. They don't check them for doctorate degrees and things of that nature, but the hell with them, man.
Right.
So, we didn't close out yet, did we?
No.
All right, con. All right. With that being said, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. All right. We'll give double honors unto the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel, whether you can accept that or not.
That's right.
All right. We'll give a sincere shalom to all the Akim, our fellow laborers and Akim who are out there pushing this word to the truth and the truth to the winds and the four corners of the earth. All right. To you, brothers, we say shalom as well as to all the Akwath who are out there listening and learning, and as well as the brothers who apply to the prophecy of the speckled bird. To Joachim, we say Shalom
Shalom.
and Abad Gabal.
Abba Ball.